3 months ago, I was that person. You know the one, crushing espresso after espresso just to make it through morning emails, feeling like a zombie by 2 p.m., and wondering if this is just what being an adult feels like. Spoiler alert, it's not. What I discovered was a simple 5-minute morning protocol that literally doubled my energy levels. No expensive supplements, no weird diets, just pure biohacking science that actually works. And yes, I got it approved by real doctors before sharing it with you. The energy crisis is real. The numbers are staggering and honestly pretty scary. 3 out of every 4 Americans wake up tired every single day. That's not normal, that's an epidemic. The average person is consuming 400 milligrams of caffeine daily just to function. That's 4 cups of coffee, creating a cycle of dependency and crashes. And here's the kicker. Energy drink sales have exploded to $86 billion globally because we're desperately searching for solutions. But what if I told you the answer isn't in a can or a pill? My breakthrough came from an unexpected source. Stanford neuroscientist Dr. Andrew Huberman's research on circadian biology. I was doom scrolling through research papers at midnight, ironically destroying my own circadian rhythm, when I stumbled upon studies about light exposure and cortisol awakening response. Then I connected the dots with Dr. Rhonda Patrick's work on metabolic optimization and Dr. Peter Attia's longevity protocols. What emerged was this beautiful intersection of science that nobody had simplified into an actionable morning routine. I tested it on myself for 30 days, tracked everything, and then had 3 physicians review my protocol before sharing it. Here's the exact protocol that changed my life, broken down into 5 weekly phases. This isn't about doing everything at once. That's how people fail. Instead, we're building habits systematically, letting your body adapt to each element before adding the next. By week 5, you'll have a complete morning routine that takes just 5 minutes, but delivers all-day energy. Trust the process, and your body will thank you. Let's break down why each element matters, starting with light exposure. Within 30 minutes of waking, you need to get outside and expose your eyes to natural sunlight for 10 to 15 minutes. Not through a window, not with sunglasses, direct outdoor light. This triggers a cortisol spike that's actually healthy and sets your circadian clock. Studies show this single action can improve sleep quality by 43% and boost daytime alertness by up to 50%. Your retina has special cells that detect sunlight and signal your brain it's time to be awake and alert. Next comes hydration, but not the way you think. Most people chug plain water and wonder why they still feel sluggish. Your body loses up to a liter of water overnight through breathing and metabolism. But here's the key, you need electrolytes to actually absorb that water. I'm talking about sodium, potassium, and magnesium. Add a 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt to 16 to 32 ounces of water, or use an electrolyte packet without sugar. This rehydrates your cells, kickstarts your metabolism, and gives your brain the minerals it needs for neurotransmitter production. Dehydration is one of the leading causes of fatigue, and most people are chronically dehydrated without knowing it. Now here's where it gets controversial, delaying your caffeine. I know, this sounds like heresy. But hear me out. When you wake up, your cortisol is naturally peaking. Caffeine blocks adenosine receptors, which is great, but if you drink it too early, you're interfering with your natural cortisol rhythm and building tolerance faster. Wait 90 to 120 minutes after waking before your first cup. This allows your natural cortisol to do its job, makes your caffeine more effective when you do drink it, and prevents the afternoon crash. Studies from the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology show this timing hack can improve caffeine effectiveness by up to 50%. Finally, cold exposure, the secret weapon. Start with just 30 seconds of cold water at the end of your shower. Not freezing, just uncomfortably cold. Work up to 2 to 3 minutes over several weeks. This triggers a massive release of norepinephrine and dopamine, increasing your baseline dopamine by up to 250% for hours. It's like a natural antidepressant and energy booster combined. Plus, it activates brown fat, which burns calories to generate heat, boosting your metabolism. Elite athletes have used cold exposure for decades, and now the science confirms why it works so well. Quote, "The circadian rhythm is your body's master clock. When you align your behavior with natural light-dark cycles and optimize your morning biology, you're not just feeling better, you're operating at your genetic potential." This protocol addresses the root cause of modern fatigue. Dr. Andrew Huberman, Stanford neuroscientist. The research backing this protocol is extensive. A 2023 study in Nature Medicine followed 500 participants who implemented morning light exposure and hydration protocols. Results showed a 67% improvement in reported energy levels, 54% better sleep quality, and 41% reduction in afternoon fatigue. Another study from the Journal of Physiology found that cold exposure increased metabolic rate by 16% and improved insulin sensitivity by 43%. The caffeine timing research from Northwestern University demonstrated that delayed consumption prevented tolerance buildup and maintained effectiveness over time. This isn't bro science. This is peer-reviewed, published research from top institutions. The transformation people experience with this protocol is honestly incredible. I've received hundreds of messages from people who went from exhausted zombies to energized peak performers. The before and after isn't just about feeling better, it's about reclaiming your life. On one side, you've got the old way, hitting snooze 5 times, chugging coffee immediately, feeling wired but tired, crashing by afternoon, and repeating the cycle. On the other side, waking up naturally, feeling alert within minutes, sustained energy all day, better sleep at night, and breaking free from caffeine dependency. The choice is yours. Let me share some real testimonials. Sarah, a 34-year-old marketing executive, went from drinking 6 cups of coffee daily to just 1, while reporting double the energy. Marcus, a 42-year-old teacher, said his afternoon slumps completely disappeared within 2 weeks. Jennifer, a 29-year-old nurse working night shifts, used a modified version and saw her recovery time cut in half. These aren't isolated cases. When you give your body what it needs at the cellular level, the results are predictable and repeatable. The protocol works because it's based on fundamental human biology, not trends or gimmicks. Quote, "As a physician, I'm impressed by how this protocol addresses energy deficiency at its root. It's safe, evidence-based, and targets multiple biological pathways simultaneously. I recommend it to my patients who struggle with fatigue." Dr. Michael Chun, MD, Internal Medicine. I consulted with 3 board-certified physicians before releasing this protocol. They all agreed on several key points. First, this approach is safe for most healthy adults. Second, it addresses the root causes of fatigue rather than masking symptoms. Third, unlike energy drinks or excessive caffeine, there are no negative side effects when done correctly. However, they did emphasize some important caveats. If you have existing medical conditions, particularly related to blood pressure, heart issues, or are pregnant, consult your doctor before starting cold exposure. The hydration and light exposure elements are universally safe and beneficial. Start slow, listen to your body, and adjust based on your individual response. Top mistakes people make that sabotage their energy. Doing everything at once and getting overwhelmed. Looking at screens immediately upon waking, which suppresses cortisol. Drinking coffee in bed before moving your body. Using hot water only, never experiencing temperature contrast. Skipping the protocol on weekends, which disrupts consistency. Not tracking their progress to see what works. Giving up after just a few days instead of committing to the 5-week build. Doing cold exposure too intensely too soon and burning out. Once you've mastered the basic protocol, here are some advanced optimization strategies. Add a 5-minute walk during your morning light exposure to boost the effect. Movement amplifies the circadian signal. Include breathing exercises like Wim Hof method during cold exposure to extend your tolerance and maximize benefits. Experiment with electrolyte ratios to find your perfect hydration formula. Some people need more sodium, others more potassium. Track your morning metrics using a wearable device to see objective improvements in heart rate variability and resting heart rate. Consider adding red light therapy in the evening as a complementary circadian tool. The key is consistent execution of the basics before adding complexity. Your turn. So, here's my challenge to you. Tomorrow morning, just do week 1. Set your alarm 15 minutes earlier, step outside, and soak in that morning light. That's it. Nothing else changes. Then come back and tell me how you felt. I promise you that one simple action will be the catalyst for transformation. Remember, energy isn't something you find in a can or a pill. It's your biological birthright, and this protocol simply removes the obstacles preventing you from accessing it. The science is proven, the doctors approve, and thousands of people have already transformed their lives. The only question is, are you ready to double your energy? Because your body is ready. It's been waiting for you to give it what it needs. Let's optimize your life together. I'll see you in the next video, where we're diving into the science of sleep optimization. Subscribe so you don't miss it.